It's the time to get down.
He throws his jersey.
They're not supposed to throw anything.
So I know, but it's a legal question. One is the league rules.
Right. No, I understand.
So I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
just say it's bad judgment.
Well, isn't that what this is all about? Yeah, see, I already know, because you already said football's going to a lot. Well, I'm gonna get into a whole different subject about that, where it's going with the violence involved. So I'm gonna leave that alone. All right, next, do you believe after Peyton's Colts defeated younger brother Eli's Giants, Eli jumps Peyton in the locker room and issues a beatdown? Is that true, Bob?
Of course not. They've been doing this since they were kids, and Eli is 5 years younger.
Yes, sir, and got a Super Bowl.
So remember that. And just watching that, you know what it was? I watched a lot of good documentaries on them.
Okay.
And it's so good. It's so interesting, you guys, about as a family.
They are very close.
Brother. Yeah, and how they treat it. So you know what? No, they're cool. They're cool. And what happened, for those of us who have brothers, and you know at one time or another you wanted to or have slapped the shit out of them.
What did you just say?
Okay, you have a brother, and all your life did you have? So did you ever?
See, look, I know what you're talking about.
Victor's mellow. I'm just saying, with brothers, usually
you want to do something.
And they even showed the kids when they was fighting. Remember they showed Peyton? And you didn't get them.
True.
I say everybody got a brother has fought with him and slapped him upside the head or something when mom was.
That's true. He's right. I mean,
that's
look,
what brothers do.
Well, there's brotherly fighting,
and they show that they love each other. Yeah. I think they're a remarkable family.
Yeah,
I liked Archie Manning. He was wonderful back then.
Right.
And so I'm down with all of that.
Okay. Well, do you believe that Brett Favre's time has come and gone like running out of Viagra?
No.
Okay. You think he's going to make a bounce back?
I think that he didn't do training camp. It's the second game.
You very now is he responsible?
I think all of them are, and he's not the only thing bad with the team. They act like
you got
that's what gets me.
You got it. Now, but the quarterback. Wait a minute. Here's the
defense.
Wait a minute. Here's the role they get. Who gets paid the most? Mostly the quarterback.
I think Brett.
No, when I say the quarterbacks usually get and they're the leaders.
Right.
So they start there, and if you start off your season, and is this the best way to lead and get? If you miss training camp, how can you perform at this level?
Oh, some do and some don't. And, Vic, I'm saying you're supposed to be a professional. Some believe me, because, in other teams, when they're pros and they're in training camp, they skip stuff.
Right, I understand.
So I don't know. I mean, you're supposed to just be ready to play. The deal came too late. Had he made up his mind earlier, but the issue was his foot, I don't know.
Well, let me just say
I'm a Brett Favre. Let me tell you something. That man commands a kind of persona that he's going to bring his best. He is a warrior. Right. Now, those of us we have warriors that get old.
Right.
But to me, I still got his back because he's proven himself to me over and over and over. Oh, he is a class act. And I just give. So I still think he's going to, and I think you're going to see some memorable. Let me put it to you like this. Mm-hmm. Do you think I guarantee you he will have a number of over 350, 400-yard games in the rest of this season. I can guarantee you that.
Right.
How's that?
Well, I'm just saying you got to translate to wins. And the other thing I'm just saying
that's on Minnesota.
Right. And look, the part they say about this, and I agree with you, this is not a knock on his lifetime achievement. What I'm saying is this. Every year you are older and past 40. It takes you twice as long to come up to the speed of the previous year. When you come in later and think you can just turn it on, when people say, well, if the injury was really an injury, so how should you be eased into this? I think it goes beyond Brett. I think it's the coaching and the ownership and everything else. So it's other factors that come in here.
I don't know. See, that's what I'm saying. I actually think that he's probably handling it in the best way possible.
Right.
Because he knows his body. Right. So I'm sure he's pacing himself based on whatever.
Right.
So that's the way I see it. Now, are they better with him? Of course they are.
Oh, yeah.
I think the issue is not really him. I think it's the other folks on the team who need to perform better.
Right.
But I will say this. Adrian didn't fumble, right?
No.
And how many fumbles has he had this season?
He has. You know what?
See what I'm saying? I like what he's doing. See, I thought I didn't know Vic, but I thought I had watched the games. It looks like he's not fumbling,
right?
And so there's things that's good on Minnesota.
Right.
But let me give you something else. See, we got to be fair.
What
about the receiving crew on Minnesota? They had problems and changes too. If it wasn't for the if it wasn't for a couple of the
Well, you have one health issue, migraine,
Yes.
Percy Harvin. So, look, they've already said this. There's some health issues on Minnesota.
Yeah, come
and we
on.
got to give them time. And I understand that. So I said, when you make a decision to win, because when you get behind in this league and you start off 0-3, and your favorite, if it's Minnesota, Dallas, and whomever, and they go, who's going to be the one that's favored that starts off at 0-3? Something has to change immediately.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, but just like this, they're going to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think he's.
It's going to be you guys. I think it's going to be a weird year with playoffs,
Right.
Because all your great so-called great teams got stumbles.
That's right.
Major flaw things that are
right. You got teams that are stepping up right now. It's going to be an interesting year, Mario, because there are teams who are expected to have started off fast who have not. So it gives
Come
teams
on,
who
Chicago.
are
All right. Just like, does anybody believe Chicago is a 2-0 team?
I thought
anybody.
I thought they were 1-1.
Okay, and even though they aren't.
Right.
Okay.
Well, you know what?
They're going nowhere fast.
Well, remember last year,
Okay.
Denver started off 8-0 and didn't even make it to the playoffs. So unless you know, I'm not prejudging.
That's
right
another
now.
one going nowhere fast.
You're wrong.
They all together. That's two going nowhere fast.
And
Denver and Chicago, no matter what their records say.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, the next, do you believe? Now, do you believe that after the Raiders coach benched starting quarterback Jason Campbell, owner Al Davis called Jason's woman and apologized for thinking Jason's better than expected?
No. I think after the Raider coach benched their starting quarterback Jason Campbell, that later on he and Vince Young got together and cried both together to their therapist.
See, I'm saying
That's cold. I'm just kidding.
You know?
I really like Vince Young. I'm just saying.
What's the problem?
If anybody was pissed, they got benched. Both of them got snatched.
Yes.
Jason Campbell and Vince Young.
Yes.
And I'm sure they were both ticked.
Hey, look, they say the culture
I like
of this
Jason
game.
Campbell. I still go. Vic, he hasn't. Vic,
I don't hate him.
He's had
time.
He's had more offensive coordinators than he's had years in the league.
I'm saying this. Listen what I'm saying. I agree with you. But I remember a cat who had multiple, teams. Bledsoe, back in the day, a few years ago, when Tony Romo took his position, he had a history of going to different teams, but he still threw the ball. He threw the ball anyway. He was slower. His aging was coming up, but he was proficient in his throwing, and he was known as that. Right now, I'm just laughing. I'm saying it's not Vince Young is getting knocked. In the culture in this game, when you get pulled, you send a message. What is the message?
I don't know. You get pulled, you're performing poorly, we need to make a change.
Yes.
So get over it.
Yeah. I know, I agree with you.
In other words, I agree with the way Jeff Fisher was trying to explain it about Vince.
Right.
You make a decision, it ain't about your feelings. What is this?
Right.
We gonna make the decisions to win the damn game.
All right.
And you're a professional, right?
That's right.
All right. That's enough said. That's that. Now,
there we go.
Any kind of crying, bitching, your ego, bullshit. I don't care.
No, I agree.
People say, "Well, Mario, that's cruel." I say,
What?
That's where I get to my Mike Singletary impression.
Yeah, that's what they go.
So,
and you know what?
So what? I don't care.
You did.
Get out the way.
You kind of look like Mike when he ran on the field when he was throwing the flag.
I understood.
And he went
trying
out.
to call time.
Right.
I know he went over. I was reading his lips. What the hell I got to do to get time out? Isn't there someone assigned to be looking for timeout? Do I need to do your job?
I want you to look back at this. I want you to look back at this video piece and watch how you look like Mike Singletary.
That's right. I have to do your job. I can't just coach the damn game. I need to tell the referees when to look for timeouts.
Right. And you see his face. And I love what the announcers were saying. He says, imagine you're sitting up there looking at those eyes. Those eyes are piercing you. And here's the part. Let me applaud Michael for one thing that I've seen. The man has slimmed down. He looks athletically like he's somebody who never was a linebacker before.
You know what? He's trimmed down.
Dude.
Because usually the jocks, Tomlin does decent too.
Yeah.
But some of the other ones too. But usually the jocks, the ex-jocks, okay. You know how let's say Rex Ryan. I'm sure he played ball and sometimes. But see, let's face it, ex-jocks tend to get fat. Everybody knows.
Right.
They try to eat like they still playing ball.
Right.
12 biscuits and all that.
We're talking about Mike Singletary, who won a Super Bowl in 1985. Wonderful. And in 1985, here we are,
I looked at his
25
body,
years later.
Man, I want to look like that. That's why I'm out walking in the morning. Put on my Batman shirt.
All right, here's the last one going out for you NBA fans. Carmelo Anthony, do you believe?
That's my man.
Appears to be out of Denver and really torn between signing with the Nets versus the Clippers.
Vic, when I read this story, I tell you the truth, I actually paused because I said, they ain't done that shit yet. Because what happened is we got distracted. You know, we got distracted with football, so we forgot about the NBA.
They didn't have any stories.
I forgot about that. The fact that Carmelo was still hanging out there. We never heard the end to the story.
They didn't have no stories. They didn't have. It was
but he was fighting. He was having terrible communication with management.
That's right.
And then we kind of forgot him and went to football.
Right.
So since then, they hadn't worked out nothing.
No, because the whole
season's almost going to be here in a little bit.
Well, they said the reason why it was always there. They said it never changed. They said, "What are you going to give up to get Carmelo?" That was always it. And since nobody was taking because they wanted more,
to stay.
Well, they got 3 players already that they got on the table. It may not be enough. And there's some people out there saying, "Look, I'd take Carmelo in a heartbeat for 3 players right now. Who are you going to turn around? This guy is a scoring machine. He's going to be probably in the top 3, at worst top 3, because third, because there's Kevin Durant who's going to be off the chain. LeBron may or may not, but he's equalized with all the other talent.
Right.
So to me, Durant and Carmelo are positioned to be the scoring champions for the next coming year. Take him. Okay, but what about the Clippers, man? Can you see him be on the Clippers?
I like Carmelo far too much.
Right.
As much as I would love to have him here in LA.
Yeah.
No.
Okay. All right.
I don't wish the Clippers on anybody. I usually I see you on the Clippers, and then I ponder how well you could be on another team.
Okay. With that in mind, my Do You Believe
what
segment
a
is
Rudy
over.
Poot organization.
I'm trying to say
Rudy Poot.
Don't put him under the bus.
Poor.
Come on, man.
Sorry, non-Los Angeles. Need to take your ass back to San Diego or somewhere. I mean, no. Actually, I don't want to offend San Diego.
Yeah, that's right. Be careful.
San Diego's way too good for the Clippers.
Okay, I got you.
They need to and I was going to say go back to just go to El Segundo. But El Segundo is also too good for the Clippers.
You're wrong. Hey, my Do You Believe segment is over. If you want to enjoy some of the top best quarterback performances or the worst, go to packstereo.tv// morning coffee, and you can go and look at what I still say the top worst quarterback performances over this past week. Is shocking because the names there just blow me away. Joe Flacco, Tom Brady, Vince Young, Brett Favre. Just was not a week. So I'm done, man. You got anything else to add to this sports segment? Other than
one thing, our condolences go out to the family of the Kevin McKinney, who passed, and we're sorry about that whole incident of depression. And this shows you how all of us are potentially affected by things in life that lead to these kinds of depression, and how much we have to start to look around at the people around us and attempt to protect them. Anyway, our condolences go out to the family, and to all people who've suffered under such situations.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, so here we go. New sports. You guys, that's the new sports with Tricky Vic, Sticky Vic, Iggy Dick, Diggy Dicks, Iggy Diggies, Diggy. It's nonsense in sports. Playing games with blue balls.
Jeez, no comment.
Hey.
No comment on that one.
Hey.
Blue.
All right.
Blue.
It's blue, man. Shrinkage.
I'm not saying anything.
Shrinkage.
Well, okay. Hey, one more segment to go and we're done.
One more.
What are you setting up over there, man?
I was trying to see. Well, we had something we wanted to mention.
Right.
I'm trying to remember what it was.
Well, if you have to remember it, that means it's not hot news.
Man, it's all been hot today, hasn't it?
Okay, if you say so. Yeah.
It's all the hot news, the most hot.
Okay.
And I'm going to see, we covered everything. I think we did TI.
Yeah, you did a good job,
We did
man.
all that.
Yeah, you
so
did.
I guess, I guess we're ready then.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's pull it out.